model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to feature a build of mine here. This is a 1972 Oldsmobile 442 W30 Convertible. A very rare car for its time period. The 442 package on top of the Cutlass was a nice little package, and I really like the way these things look, especially the 71 and 72 front end here, a little more aggressive than the 70, just my personal preference. The package included a couple of options, but the W30 package included the 455 rocket engine in this bad boy. That was a special 455, and then they did a few tweaks to it, mainly aluminum intake, aggressive cam, a few other things. But for 72, they dropped the compression to 8.5 as GM required all their cars to run on the new unleaded fuel. And they also went to the net rating, so it was rated at 300 horsepower and 410 foot-pounds of torque, which actually for the net rating really wasn't too bad if you compare it to some of the other cars, but on paper looked not near as potent as it used to be, even though the package was somewhat unchanged for the previous years other than the drop in compression. It made for a pretty nice performer. They did really well. It was available with the automatic or the manual transmission. And you got a few other things with it. You got the performance handling package, so it had front and rear sway bars, and a 342 geared rear end was standard with the Oldsmobile's 10-bolt rear end in it. You got a few other things with it, but the W25 ram air hood was part of the package, which is a fiberglass hood with a steel understructure. And let's turn this here for you a little bit. And you know, you also got your choice of graphics. You got the stripes on the side and also on the hood, which could be deleted, but most got it. But it was a pretty rare package, especially in the convertible, as only 113 were ordered this way. So pretty rare car, and it shows up, you know, in the values when you see these things come up on auction, and they're legitimate W30s because a lot of them are cloned, which I wouldn't personally mind a clone either, because I just like to enjoy and drive them. And I would have a good time owning one of these. So this one I did in a very rare color. This is flame orange. So I'm hoping the camera picks it up. I keep fighting with the camera and the settings and trying to get a little bit better on getting it to capture the actual color. But this is a kind of a dark orange metallic, kind of like a burnt orange, but not quite as burnt. But it's a pretty nice color, and I use Scale Finishes paint on this to get this color, so you can see the sparkle in it and everything. I'm hoping it comes out. It looks pretty good throughout the screen that I'm looking at, but hopefully that shine really stands out. And this is a build from 2000. Well, I finished it in 2016, so it's 5 years old. But to give you an idea, it's one of those stalled projects where I was doing a bunch of Oldsmobiles at the time. All of them are kit bashed. So this is one that I bought in about 2006, 2007. It's Modelhaus Resin conversion kit, and it is based on the JoHan Olds 442 for 1970. So that's what its intended donor kit is. But when it came to me building this, I ended up not going that route, as I had a few of them. And at the time, finding those Oldsmobiles, they weren't too bad to buy. You can get them at a pretty decent price. $30, $40 a kit. Doesn't seem too bad now, but now they're like $75, $80 or more. And they're also getting a little harder to find. But this one, about the only thing that might actually be from JoHan on this might be the mirrors here. It's about the only thing I think I used from one of the kits or left over, because they come in a number of kits and I don't always use them because it seems like JoHan was putting that in everything. But they look pretty good on this car, and the bullet mirrors are pretty common in the JoHan kits, but they did use them on the Oldsmobiles. So I did this one up. Now I did do some kit bashing with this. I used the AMT 69 Hurst Olds chassis under it. So I'll flip that over and you'll see it there. And I also used its engine. Painted it blue, which is the correct color for the big blocks in 71. And I did an automatic tranny under this one, which the 69 Hurst Olds comes with an automatic tranny. It also comes with these exhaust pipes. It's one of the differences between the two kits. They have the regular 442, and then they have the Hurst Olds version. So I'd use that, and then I detailed out the interior, which this is all resin as well. Resin boot from Modelhaus, which was a complete kit. and full resin interior, dash, steering wheel, which had a lot of flash to clean up, and the automatic shifter. So I did some trimming and cleaning up on all that, and then detail painted it up. The W30 Hood was part of their conversion package. You had to buy it separately though. When you bought this from Modelhaus, you got the regular 442 hood, which I had since sold, but you had to order the W30 package, which came with this hood, the rear wing, the wheels, and also the air cleaner, which I'll show you here. That air cleaner is from Modelhaus as well. The rest of the engine's from AMT, and the engine compartment, the firewall. And then I did the radiator support and the fan shroud. Those are JoHan based, but they are resin copies of them. I made molds and made those parts. So really no JoHan parts in this kit. And one thing I did do that Modelhaus didn't do, this was molded in, which is just a direct copy of how JoHan did it. It was part of this, so molded in, but on the real car it's actually separated right here. So I cut it, and the chrome pieces actually should stay on the hood and not on the grill, but that's the way it's made, so I left it. But clear coated it and then blacked out the underside of the hood, but this is all exactly how Modelhaus gave it to you. And I used Fred Cady decals on there, so those decals are from Fred Cady, along with the side stripes there. And as I mentioned, the flame orange, pretty cool color. That's from Scale Finishes, and I used my Real Automotive Clear that I used from Sherwin-Williams and sprayed this one. Like I said, this one, I bought it in 2006 or so. I was building about 4 of these, I think. I know I showed you the 70 Rally 350 that I built. I showed you that one. I also did a 70 convertible, and I did a 71 hardtop, and I was doing this 72 convertible. But I got 3 of them done in about that time period, and this one just sort of stalled. Just kind of got Oldsmobile it out, doing 4 of them and doing the full-on kit bashing with the chassis and everything. Although this pretty much just drops right in, and it does have the front and rear sway bars, which is correct. Can't really tell that the rear end's a 10 bolt because they don't put any of the bolts on there for you, but doesn't really matter. And just dressed it all out. And I used the AMT wheels and tires on this one, and white lettered the tires. Really like that paint. This wasn't my original plan though. My original plan was I did the 70 as a pace car, and I bought the Fred Cady 72 Hurst Olds 442 pace car decals. But when I was looking at my references, I noticed that that car actually was not a 442 and it had different grills. So instead of changing out the grills, it just sort of stalled. I was looking for options on what to do, and it just sort of sat there, and I wasn't too concerned about getting it done right away. But it wasn't very far along. It was basically all the fitting was done. So it kind of sat in the box, and then of course Revell came out with their kit. Beautiful kit. I ordered one and got one right, bought one as soon as they came out. So I got one of those, and then many years later they reissued again with all the rest of the parts, the 442 parts. So I've actually got all 3 versions of the Revell convertible, but I haven't built any of them. But since I bought them, and I had this sitting here, and I couldn't really do anything with it, and it wasn't like I was gonna just sell it, because it was an $80 kit for Modelhaus, and since Revell had come out with their kit, I wasn't going to be making my money back on it. So I figured I might as well build it. So I was looking at reference material, and I saw one of these in this color, and I'm like, I've got to do that color. And since now I'm going to do it as a 442 W30 convertible, I don't have to actually change the grill out. I can leave the grill as how Modelhaus has sent it, which was a direct copy of JoHan's grill. So I decided to leave that alone and build it like this. And love the way it came out. I mean, it's a beautiful build, and really happy with this one. Of course, I'm really happy with all of my builds. I mean, kind of like a father. You put all this work into them and get them all nice and done. Oh, and one little thing, I don't know if any of you noticed the door handles. That's actually from the 66 Chevelle wagon, the door handles. I shaved them, sanded them off, and used those instead. Detailed them out, and they just look so much better. But I'm not going to keep buying 66 Chevelle wagons just for 4 door handles to use on 2 cars. But since I'd shaved them off of mine, one of the pairs came on here. So I figured I would show this to you, and you would enjoy it and everything. So I appreciate you tuning in, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful Saturday, and I will see you next Saturday. Thank you.